Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome back to this brand new video. If you are asking me if I can do a video on how to implement a drag and drop functionality on a canvas, and of course in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do that really quick and really simple. Have fun watching the video right now and let's go. So first things first, I just started here in my index.html and I also add a main.js, which is pretty empty. I include the script tag inside my body tag inside the index.html, and from here we're going to start with the magic. So I'm going to close the left bar to make it more visible. I also already included the canvas with the ID of canvas, the HTML tag, and I removed some basic body styling like margin and padding. So, but for now in the main.js is where all the magic happens. So we're going to implement a drag and drop functionality for the canvas. So basically we're just going to do that by creating our variables first. So typing, so just got canvas is equal to, and here we got the get the element by ID, which has the ID of canvas. So this is where we're going to start right now. And also we need to get the context, which is equal to canvas.getContext by 2D. Also, we can set the canvas.width to value we need. And for now, we're just going to say, okay, window.innerWidth. And also, we're going to do that for the height. But for the height, we're just going to set it to window.innerHeight. There it is. And on the right, you always can see the preview. For now, you can see nothing because everything is white. So we just can put in some styles here right now. It's gonna say style dot, I don't know, for example, border is equal to 5 pixel, I don't know, solid. Let's take it just a simple red to make it visible. And now you see, okay, we got a border and it has the full width and the full height. Of course, you can see on the right side, it's a little bit floating out here. And how we can handle that is pretty simple. Just gonna subtract the 10 here. Why 10? Because they have 5 pixel border on the left side and 5 pixel border on the right side, also on the top and in the middle. And now it's in the it's fixed, but yeah, of course the scroll bar is hitting the border right now while it's full in the middle. So we just gonna now put in something like this, like I don't know, this. Let's check it out. Windows.width 20 maybe. No, it's not 5. You know, it's coming. Okay, it's like this. Okay, it's okay. It's just for tutorial reasons here right now. And yeah, that's our basic styles here. And now we can also declare some more variables. For example, we can say, okay, the canvas.width is equal to canvas width. And we're also going to take the height here for get the canvas.height as a global variable right now. Okay, so first things first, we're going to draw some shapes here inside our canvas. I'm going to show that by drawing a small rectangle. So we can define a global array. And inside this array, we just can push a new shape. I'm just going to do it by pushing a JavaScript object with some attributes we need. In this case, we need an X attribute, which is example default by 0. Epsilon is default 0. And we also need a width, which is, what the hell is going on with, which is, let's say 200, and the height, which is also 200. I'm misspelling right now. Okay. And now we need to draw those shapes. We can also push a second one. For example, let's say, okay, we need a second one, which is a little bit smaller. We also can pass in, of course, a color to make the difference visible. So we just got one for blue and one for red here right now. All right, okay. But for of course, for now we need to make it a little bit smaller here. I don't know, to make it more visible. Right, now we need to draw those rects inside our canvas, and for that we need a function. We're just going to say, okay, name, I don't know, draw shapes, which is equal to be a function. And now we just can say, okay, we got our context.clearRect. Okay, context.clearRect, and we're going to clear it from the top left and from x0, from y0, and we go to canvas.width and canvas.height. So we're just going to clear the whole canvas from every single draw. And after that, we just can put in a for loop, which has for let shape of all our shapes. And what we can do here right now is we just can say, okay, context dot fill style is equal to shape.color, which means we're gonna include the color from our shape and also fill the rect with the X position, the Y position, the width, and the height. And if I'm gonna save that, hopefully we're just gonna see something. Now, of course not, because we need to call this function. Get visible, not inside the function itself, outside of the function. Now you see, okay, we got something right here. We see the blue and the red rect. Let's change the coordinates, for example, from the red one. So let's go 200 to the left, and let's say, for example, 50 from top, and yeah, I don't know, 10 for the blue one. And that's how we just can draw rects here right now. I'm just gonna use something, just one rect right now to make it more visible here. All right, so what we need to do is we need to program our mouse handle functionalities. We need to check for mouse down, we need to check for mouse up, we also need to check for mouse move, and for that we need to change the X and Y position of that shape if we have a mouse down on the rect. And for that we need to detect if we are clicking on the rect or not. So for example, if I click now, it needs to say, okay, yes, you are clicking on the rect, and now you should not click on the rect if you watch my mouse here. Okay, how can we do that? First things first, we need to detect our mouse handle down. For doing that, we just can say, okay, let mouse down is equal to function again, which just has an event. And by default, we should prevent default that event to tell the browser, okay, we're gonna do our own things here, and to check if the mouse is going to be down. And first things first, we just need to log out the event so we can get some special information about that. And of course, we need to register those listeners. So we just can say canvas.on mouse down is equal to mouse down, which is the function here right now. Can't access mouse down before. Okay, of course we need to clear the function before. There it is. And now if I click mouse down, you can see, okay, we got a mouse event here, and we got some cool information here which we need. For example, we need to the, I don't know, the what can we need here? We just need the, let me see what we need. We need the line X, for example, which is like here. So which is the basic coordinates where we click. So if we click on the top left, we should be close to 0, 0. So you see client X is 10 and client Y is 8. And if I go, yeah, you see it's going to be 0, 0. And on the bottom right, we have the screen size for that browser here right now. And that's how we can work with. We need to get those variables. So we just can say, okay, we need the current mouse start X, for example, which is equal to event.client X. We need the start Y, which is event.client Y. And we should use also parse this with an integer to make sure, okay, we have a number here, do calculations later. Okay. And after that, yeah, we just can also check if we click on side our rect or not. And for that, we need to iterate over every shape we have. So for that shape of shapes, we just can say, okay, we got a shape. And yeah, let's see if we have the index. So we can also put in the index here, which is 0, and inside our for loop we gonna increase the number, and so we can put in a global index variable that current shape index is null in the beginning, and here we're gonna put it to the index. And all we need to do is handle mouse down. We need to say, okay, we need to check if we click on that shape. So we can do that by clicking on, by going into for loop inside the if loop, sorry. And we need to check by calling a function, and I'm gonna name it is mouse in shape. And for that, we need the we need the current start x, we need the start y, and we also need the current shape. And for that, we can create a new function which has the xy position of the current click and also the shape. And for that, we can handle and check if we have something inside. We can go here and say, okay, we got shape left, for example, which is equal to shape.x. We can also say shape right, which is shape.x plus shape dot width. We're gonna do that for the shape top, for example, as well, which has shape.y. Then we just got shape bottom, which is equal to shape.y plus shape.height. And now we can do a simple calculation. So we got shape left, which is basically the top left, and shape bottom, which is basically the bottom right. We need to check, okay, if our x is bigger than the shape left, and also if our x is smaller than the shape right, and of course if the epsilon is greater than the shape top, and if epsilon is also smaller than the shape bottom, then we just return true, and we can say, okay, we are inside our shape. And otherwise we just return false. So let's test it out after returning false here. Okay. So for now we just can say, okay, if we are inside our rect, we just can say console.log yes, and otherwise we just gonna console.log no. Okay, let's see if what we got. We just got no, 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 and here we got yes. Okay, so we detect that we are inside our shape. This works pretty well. We can get rid of that console.log. So now if we test if we are inside our shape, we can say, okay, we are inside our shape, and we're going to declare a new variable, which we're gonna call is tracking, and this is basically false in the start, and we're just gonna set it to true here. And after that, we just can return. So we are inside here. So this should work really well for the mouse down event. And basically all we need to do is we need to also check the mouse up. Let mouse up is equal to the function, and like in mouse down event, we need to prevent default. And first things first, we're going to check if is tracking here. If it's not tracking, we're just going to return, do nothing, because we are not in the tracking mode, so we just can return. And otherwise, okay, we can also put it behind here. And otherwise, we're going to set the is tracking to false. And by the way, we're just going to do the same for mouse up, and we're going to do the same for mouse out. It's just going to basically do the same. Return if we are not tracking, and we set tracking to false. Of course, here we need to register those event listener as well, which has just something like on mouse move, which is mouse not mouse move, so we're gonna do that later, which is just on mouse up. Just got mouse up, and on mouse out, I guess. Well, yes, on mouse out. There you go. And at least on last thing, we need on mouse move, which is the mouse move function. Mouse move, there we go. We're just going to clear it so we don't get an error. I'm gonna say here, let mouse move. which is like a function. Okay, so now basically we just can detect if we are clicking on the function and if we are tracking. So let's see what we do. We're just gonna say mouse down. Okay. We need to, if we mouse down, let's see what we can do. We need the mouse move. So we got the mouse move function. Okay, that's what we're gonna do next. So console.log, we're just gonna click move. So now you see if I move, we just got the mouse move console.log. Okay, it's a little bit lacking here right now. Move. Oh yes, it's really lacking. Yeah, we're just gonna console.log if we are currently tracking. So only if is tracking. Just gonna say console.log, I don't know, move with tracking, for example. So basically we just don't got a log. It's refreshing here right now. It's also really slow. Okay, here we go. Now just if I click here, you can see if I release my mouse, I'm not going to log anything, but if I click on the rectangle and move, it's a move with tracking. So to handle to stop that function, to go out of that function, this we just check if we are not tracking, just return. So just gonna do that if we are tracking. Also can say just else. Also already enough. So now we're gonna do the function by calculating the stuff. We also got the event here by default, which we just wanna prevent here in the start. And what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take the let mouse x again, which is equal to parse in from the event.clientX. And we're just going to take the mouse y again, event.mouse y. I'm going to parse in that value to get a integer out of that. And now we need to get the distance from the start of the click and the first move we do with the mouse. So there's a little distance for the x and y. And we just can declare something like delta x. I'm just going to name it dx right now, which just take the mouse x and subtract the start x. Okay, maybe you are asking right now, where do we get the start x from? We need to declare those also as global variables. So we just go here and say, okay, we just got start x, and we also just got start y, and go. And we also now got a delta y, which is the mouse y minus the start y. Okay, by the way, we need to set those mouse down value here, start x here. Okay, we can get rid of those variables inside that function. We're going to use the global variable here. So we set the global start x and start y to the start of the click. And here we're going to subtract the current mouse position from the event with that click position. And okay, so we just can, to make sure what I mean, I'm just going to console.log the y out. If I click now and move down, you can see, okay, we just moved for now 1 to the right, 1 pixel to the right, and 80 pixels to the bottom. If I go to the right, I'm going to move that more to the right now. The integer is going to be higher and higher, and if I go to the left, it will be a minus value also, of course, for the y value. So if I go on the top, you see the distance from my click to the top left, for example. And now we're just going to work with those two variables. So we're going to iterate over every shape. So for that shape of shapes, what we need to do, no, we don't need to iterate over that. I think we just can take the index we globally saved So we need to let current shape, which is equal to shapes at the index of current, what was the name? Current shape index, I guess. Okay, so now we got the current shape. Let's log that out to make sure we have the current shape. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, we got the current shape. You see we got the X and Y position and the width and the height, for example. And all we need to do right now is we can say, okay, current shape dot X is plus equal to the X. Yeah, that's right. And current shape dot Y is plus equal to the Y. And yeah, but you will see if I move this now, you will see that we just draw another shape. So it will not, the old position will not disappear. So it will just draw another shape. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's save that. Oh no, we of course need to, no, yeah, it will not draw another shape. We just need to call that draw shapes function again. So we just updated our X and Y and we need to redraw that. That's why we're going to clear the rect in the beginning so we can delete the old shape here. And of course, in the end, our global start X and start Y variables need to be set to the new mouse X and mouse Y variable. And that's all we need to do. If I now refresh and click on that X, you can see I can move the shape around. And if I release the button, it will be on the top left. And if I go here, it will be on the top right. So basically it works like it should. So we can just, yeah, draw, drag and drop the rectangle. Yeah, if we want. One more thing we can do, we should do that on the top. That's really important if you use a bigger project and you use your canvas. Sometimes your canvas just has a little offset, like a little padding or a little margin, and you need to calculate those margins and paddings, those offsets as well. So what we need to do is we need to create a little function, and I don't know, let's say get offset, for example. What we need to do is we need the canvas offsets, which is equal to canvas.get bounding client. Rect is a function which will return the top and left offset. So you can go here and you can declare again some global variables. And you can say, okay, offset X is equal to canvas offsets dot left, I guess, yes. And offset Y is canvas offsets dot top. And we need to yeah, set those global variables again. And now we just can say, okay, if the script is loading, we're just gonna call that function. And also, for example, window, if we scroll, for example, we're gonna recalculate that. By call that function as well here inside. Not only if we scroll, also if we resize the function, and also if we resize the canvas, for example. There we go. We need to recalculate the offset. And you just need to subtract those values here from those calculation, yeah, to make sure everything is fine, and also here in the bottom to make sure everything is fine with the offset of the canvas, and you will always have the correct click point and move point of your canvas. Of course, you can put in more shapes like that. So let's put in a second one. And let's give it 100, 100 again. And let's make it 2 to make the difference clear. And let's start here on 10, 10, for example. That's a little bit small. I guess we should, this is the width and the height. There you go. And now, of course, you can also move the blue one. So you can move multiple ones. I think this is everything for that tutorial right now. I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.